The impact of cocaine in the United States. The impact of cocaine in the United States is historical and relevant today. Cocaine played a major part in American history. Cocaine has helped shape the America as we know it today. Maybe not for the best, but it is very much a part of our identity. The drug started a whole new culture in America and around the world. This poison affected the whole humanity in such a way that it created a new breed of criminals and victims. Cocaine has been in the United States for over 150 years. Many historical figures like Thomas Edison, Queen Victoria, and Pope Leo XII promoted the drug. Some of the greatest minds in medical history promoted the use, including Sigmund Freud and the pioneering surgeon William Halsted. Cocaine was and is heavily consumed, distributed, and the effects of the drug are irreversible. There are various forms of cocaine derived from the cocoa plant. The cocoa plant is native to the high mountain ranges of South America. Natives of this region use the cocoa leaves as a stimulant. The stimulating effects of the drug increase the oxygen intake of an individual. This increased the stamina of the native laborers, which allowed them to perform their duties in thin air at high altitudes. Later in time, science figured out a way to maximize the potency of the drug contained in the cocoa leaves. Chemically synthesizing the cocoa leaves created the white crystal powder we know as cocaine. Cocaine was first synthesized in 1800, but the effects were not recognized by the medical world until 1855. The first recognized authority for this drug was the world-famous psychologist Sigmund Freud. Freud promoted the drug as safe and useful. He claimed the drug can cure depression and sexual impotence. In 1800, medical literature conducted case reports. The doctors wrote about their trial and error with individual patients. Therapeutic Gazette, published by Parker Davis, cocaine's largest manufacturer, published this case report about cocaine. In 1884, Freud divulged reports to write a definitive term called Umba Coca. These contained 70 pages of tribute to the crystal powder that Freud thought could prove a cure for morphine addiction. The results ended up being that the drug could serve as a potent painkiller, which is still used today. During the late 1970s, the illicit drug cocaine was expensive and therefore could only be afforded by the well-heeled. Cocaine began to appear in lower-class neighborhoods in the form of crack cocaine. The inexpensive rock-like substance possessed 10 times as much power as cocaine in its powder form. The explosive popularity of crack cocaine was associated with its cheap price, which was for the first time made cocaine available for a wider economic class.
These guys don't trust anyone. The only reason they're giving me access is that they have all the control. If I make one wrong move, I could end up dead.
So you here for Aura?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
This is the moment. I need to show the kingpin I can handle myself. Put him at ease and get the access I need to follow the drug trail from here to the streets.
Mr. Raphael? Mark Allen Johnson. So I guess our mutual friends have told you why I'm here?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm here to talk about cocaine.
Okay.
You're in the cocaine business? Or is that not the way to ask the question?
That's not really the way to ask. I'm a hustler.
Okay, well, I've been told that you are a major mover of cocaine.
There's really only like 5 major guys, and I'm one of them. And we supply the city, the whole city, the entire city.
That's crazy. I mean, it's like you're running a major corporation.
Exactly. If we were talking about a week's worth of what I move, we would need one side of this patio.
One side of this patio?
Yeah, to stack it up.
And how much of it goes to the hood and gets chopped up and turned into crack and smoked?
The majority of it goes into the hood.
Do your hands get less dirty at the top?
Yes. I never have to touch anything anymore. I make the calls, I put my orders in.
They keep calling about the drug.
Did you count everything up?
The count is like a little about 10 over.
So Rat's money is in there?
Rat's money's in there.
Okay.
What are we doing?
He's about to make a drop.
I touch this.
Yeah.
What would this be for?
For my next pickup.
So this is something that would be going to your
To my supplier.
to your supplier.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how they would receive it?
Mm-hmm.
It's always in cash.
Mm-hmm.
How much is here?
It's about 210.
In Middle America, this is a home. This is what a man might earn in a lifetime after taxes. And we got it right here in this little, like, tequila box.
Right. This is my addiction. This is what died for.
In the wake of the widespread media attention, crack was portrayed as a violence-including, highly addictive drug that created a plague of social problems, especially in inner-city communities. This highly effective substance wreaked havoc on inner-city communities. The inner cities of America are groaning under the effects of crack addiction. Drug cartels have taken over control of America by flooding it with crack cocaine, turning its inner cities into war zones, and creating an atmosphere of fear and apprehension among the general population. Cartels use their enormous cocaine profits to arm themselves and spread crack across the country. They are still thriving, turning entire blocks of major cities into occasional war zones. The cumulative effects of the crack plague have prompted a public outcry for greater security. The coming of cocaine in its rock form changed America as we knew it. The number of prisons being built skyrocketed. No country on earth locks up such a large percentage of its population as does the United States. With the media spotlight focusing on crack cocaine, Congress quickly passed federal sentencing legislation in both 1986 and 1988. This included mandatory sentencing laws based on the premise that crack cocaine was 50 times more addictive than powder cocaine. For good measure, Congress doubled that number and came up with a sentencing policy based on the weight of cocaine that an individual was convicted of selling. Thus, federal sentences for crack were constructed to relate the sentences for powder cocaine and a 100-to-1 quantity ratio. The result is that while a conviction of the sale of 500 grams of powder cocaine triggers a 5-year mandatory sentence, only 5 grams of crack cocaine are required to trigger the same 5-year mandatory sentence. Similarly, while a sale of 5,000 grams of powder leads to a 10-year sentence, only 50 grams of crack triggers the same 10-year sentence. Initially, crack cocaine was widely viewed as a social menace that was categorically different from powder cocaine in its psychological and psychotropic effects. However, these assumptions were more reflective of the prevalent panic and fear that arose from the explosive growth of the crack market than conclusions of scientific investigation. While federal law has constructed a penalty structure that reflects these assumptions, only 14 states have adopted the laws that distinguish between powder cocaine and crack cocaine in their penalty schemes, and only one, Iowa, utilizes the 100-to-1 quantity ratio of the federal law system. Overall, numerous studies have shown the psychological and psychotropic effects of crack and powder are the same, and they are now widely acknowledged as pharmacologically identical. America is still dealing with cocaine's poisonous side effects. Thousands of young men are serving long prison sentences for selling cocaine, a drug that was virtually unattainable in low-class neighborhoods. The evolution of cocaine is still a major problem in today's society. Will America ever solve this problem? Or is this effect impacting us forever? The damage of this drug can never be reversed. We can only observe what's going on in America and try to keep away from destruction.